Ever catch yourself watching someone you love, like your mom, grandpa, or that spunky aunt who used to chase you around the yard, and notice something's off? Maybe it's the way they shuffle now, quieter than before, or how their laugh doesn't ring out quite the same. We all figure old age just swoops in one day and takes them away. Bam, sudden, done. But here's the twist that hit me like a brick. The body doesn't always go out with a bang. More often it whispers, soft, sneaky little warnings that creep up months, sometimes a whole year before the final curtain drops. And the kicker? We miss them. Those tiny shifts, less appetite, a tired slump, get waved off as just getting old. Until later, looking back, you realize the clues were screaming if you'd only listen. Today, we're diving into 4 subtle signs an elderly person might be in their final year. Stuff you've maybe seen but shrugged at, thinking it's no big deal. Spoiler, it is. I've been there, missing the hints with my own grandma, and I'll spill those regrets so you don't have to feel that sting. Stick with me to the end, because I'm unpacking a truth that'll flip how you see aging, plus a story that still chokes me up, giving you the chance to spot these signs early, step up with love, and make every last moment glow with comfort and peace. This isn't about fear. It's about holding tight to what matters. Hit that like button. It keeps this real talk rolling. Not subscribed? Click it, tap the bell. Don't miss a beat. Love this? Drop a 1 below. Not feeling it? A 0 keeps me honest. Got a story, someone you were worried about? Share it. I'm here. Ready? Let's roll. Imagine your grandpa at Sunday dinner. That faded plaid shirt he's worn forever now, draping off his shoulders like a kid playing dress-up in Dad's closet. Or your mom, her ring spinning loose on fingers that used to grip your hand tight. It's not a crash diet or some late-life fitness kick. Weight loss creeps in soft and slow, a belt notched tighter, jeans sagging at the hips. You catch it in passing, her plates barely touched, a sandwich nibbled and left, and think, oh, she's just not hungry today. I did that with my Uncle Pete, 82, watching him shrink over a year. He'd been a bear of a man, broad chest, big laugh. Then suddenly his suspenders hung slack, and I waved it off. Old folks eat less, I told myself. Biggest regret of my life. This isn't just getting older. It's a siren the body's blaring, one we tune out. A 2022 Journal of Gerontology study I dug into later spelled it out. Unintentional weight loss in seniors often means the engine's sputtering, or digestion's off, nutrients slip through like sand in a sieve. Muscles don't just thin, they unravel fast, leaving bones stark under skin. Pete's arms went from meaty to wiry, and I didn't clock it. Appetite's the first to bail. Food loses its pull. He'd poke at my roast potatoes, once his favorite, muttering, "Not today, kid." And I'd shrug, thought he was picky. Truth was, his taste buds were fading, his body whispering no need as it wound down. Could have been cancer, heart failure. Docs say weight drops months before the obvious hits. I tried fixing it, baked his old meatloaf recipe, pushed shakes. He'd sip, smile weak, but the scale kept sliding. Falls came next, knees buckled on the porch, immune system too frail to fight a cold. I'd give my left arm to rewind. Skip the cooking marathons, just sit with him, share a quiet coffee. If you're seeing this, clothes swallowing them, meals shrinking, don't brush it off. It's not about stuffing them full. It's soft bites, a warm drink, keeping them comfy. I learned late, Pete's hollow cheeks still haunt me. Spot this, and you've got a window to hold them close, not just feed them. Ever see your dad doze off mid-sentence, head tipping like it's too heavy to hold? Or your grandma, once a whirlwind of energy, gardening, chatting, now slumped in her rocker, eyes half shut by lunch? This isn't "I need a nap" tired. It's a deep, dragging exhaustion that clings like wet clothes. Getting up's a battle, shuffling to the sink takes a pep talk. I watched it steal my Grandma Rose, 79. She'd whip up apple pies, apron flying, then one year she'd sink into the couch after breakfast, barely stirring. "Tired today, hun," she'd mumble, and I'd do Didn't push. Thought she'd bounce back. She didn't. It's the body pulling a survival trick, hoarding scraps of energy as the tank runs dry. A 2021 American Journal of Hospice Care, bit I read later, broke it down. Heart slows, lungs lag, oxygen's a stranger to those muscles. Rose at nap hours, skip her roses, her garden turned wild, and I'd tease, "Sleeping Beauty, huh?" Dumb move. She wasn't resting. She was running out. That weariness doesn't just sap strength, it dims their light. She stopped humming, her stories trailed off. Not because she didn't care, but because she couldn't. I'd see her stare out the window, lost, and I'd nudge her to chat. She'd try, fade, broke my heart every time. I'd kill to redo it, swap my prodding for quiet afternoons, her head on my shoulder. If this rings a bell, sudden slumps, endless dozing, don't poke them to snap out of it. Brew tea, sit still. Rose'd light up for a minute with company, then drift. I should have stayed more, not pushed. It's not laziness, it's a clock winding down. Don't miss it like I did. Those tired eyes are begging you to see. Picture your uncle, the guy who'd outsmart you at chess, now squinting at the board like it's a puzzle from Mars. Or your mom, lost in her own hallway asking, "Where's the kettle?" when it's right there. The mind starts slipping. Names vanish mid-sentence. Tales repeat like a stuck record. Familiar corners turn strange. I saw it with Mr. Sam, my neighbor, 85. He'd spin yarns about his Navy days, sharp as a tack. Then one year he'd blink at me. "You're, who again?" I'd laugh. "Same old me, Sam." Didn't get it. He was drifting off, a boat unmoored. It's the brain running low. Blood flow drops, oxygen's scarce, says a 2020 neurology study I found. Not just forgetting keys, it's a haze settling in. Sam sit mute on his porch, once a chatterbox, now a ghost in his chair. Some days he'd snap, "Why'd you move my stuff?" Over nothing, then soften, confused. Others, he'd just float, eyes blank, not mad, just elsewhere. I'd bring old war pics, spark a grin, but it'd fade fast. That drift wasn't him pulling away. It was his mind unplugging, wire by wire. I'd feel him slip, his big laugh, his quick jabs, gone, and I'd scramble to reel him back. Couldn't. If you're spotting this, looped questions, silence where words used to spill, don't drag them into debates. Say their names soft, hold their gaze. Sam would squeeze my hand sometimes, still there under the palm. I should have lingered, not quizzed. It's not them leaving you, it's time tugging them loose. Grab those flickers while you can, I miss his. Ever hear your aunt puff crossing the room, a quick oof like she's climbed a hill? Or touch your grandpa's hands, cold as a winter pipe even under blankets? Breathing and circulation turn storyteller in that final stretch. Huffs sneak in, pauses stretch long, warmth pulls back. My cousin's dad, Lou, 81, showed me. He'd trek miles with us kids. Then one year, he'd gasp, stepping to the fridge, chest heaving, eyes wide. His fingers went pale, toes tinged blue. I'd tease frostbite, pops. He'd chuckle faint, but I didn't catch the hint. The body's dialing down, heart pumps weak, lungs slack, blood sticks to the vitals per a 2023 palliative medicine note I read. Lou's breaths got shallow, stops creeping in. He'd talk, halt, suck air slow. I'd hear a rattle, think just a cough. Wrong, lungs were drowning soft. Hands and feet iced up. Circulation said no more out there. I'd pile socks, crack windows, fussing over him. Didn't see it till hospice pointed. Those huffs, that chill, were the end calling quiet. He'd rest propped up, flat too hard. I'd fluff pillows, clueless. If this sounds familiar, short gasps, cold tips, don't freak. Wrap them warm, ease their air. Lou'd sigh when I sat near, less when I fixed stuff. I should have listened, not tinkered. It's not a fix, it's a feel. Those breaths are counting down. See it, and you've got time to just be there, not fight it. Let's get real with some folks who taught me these signs the hard way. First, Mrs. Clara, 84, my old piano teacher. She'd bang out tunes till her hands shook. Then the weight melted off. Her dresses hung like curtains, and she'd nibble toast, saying not much for it. I'd bring cookies, thinking I'd spark her. Didn't. She'd nap mid-lesson, head drooping, and I'd wait. Too late, I saw the drift. A year on, she was gone. Pneumonia, they said, but I knew it started with that shrinking frame. If I'd sat longer, played her songs, not pushed food, maybe I'd have more than regrets. Then Mr. Tom, 79, down the street. Big guy, built houses, then exhaustion hit. He'd doze on his porch, hammer idle, voice soft. Tired today, he'd grunt. I'd mow his lawn, thinking he'd bounce back. Nope, confusion crept in. He'd call me Jimmy, wrong name, stare off. His hands chilled last summer, cold as ice. 8 months later, heart gave out. I missed it. Could have shared a beer, not just a chore. Last, Aunt Ellie, 87. Her breath got short, puffing over tea, pausing odd. Skin paled, fingers frosty. I'd knit her socks, laugh it off. She'd smile, weak, and I'd miss the gurgle till hospice came. 9 months she slipped away, quiet, like her warnings. I should have held her closer, not just warmed her feet. So here's the heartbeat of it all. What ties these 4 signs together? It's not some blaring siren or flashing red light screaming time's up. No, it's quieter, shrinking weight creeping in like a shadow, bone-deep tiredness settling like dusk, a drifting mind fading soft as a radio losing signal, faltering breath hushing out in uneven sighs. These aren't crashes, they're whispers, gentle taps on your shoulder saying your loved one's final year might be unfolding right now, right in front of you. I miss them with Clara, her frame thinning under those oversized cardigans. She didn't yell, "I'm fading." She just shrank, and I looked away. Tom's heavy lids and cold hands didn't demand my notice. I blinked past them. Ellie's little huffs and pauses, I laughed them off till she was gone. A 23 Hospice Foundation stat hit me later. 70% of seniors wave these flags a year out. Science saw what my eyes didn't, and that stings. This isn't about counting down days or bracing for a fight. Age doesn't want your fists up. It's pleading for a soft touch, a steady hand. I learned that too late with Grandma Rose. Her tired slump wasn't a phase. It was her goodbye starting slow. With Uncle Pete, I chased meals, not moments. His hollow grin still cuts me when I think of the chats I skipped. Sam's silence, Lou's gasps. I fumbled, pushing fixes when I should have pulled close. It's not a burden to bear, it's a window cracking open. A shot to step light beside them, maybe a slow walk to the porch, their arm in yours. Lift light, just a hand to steady, a hug that lingers. Rest plenty, let them nap while you sit, feeling their breath, not fixing it. Small moves aren't small, they're love stitched into every second you've still got. Catch these whispers, and you're not just waiting for the end. You're living it with them, soaking in what's left. I'd give anything to rewind. Sit with Rose over tea, not nudge her awake. Hear Pete's old jokes, not plate his food. Hold Sam's gaze, not quiz his fog. Feel Lou's cold fingers, not fuss over socks. It's not just their bodies winding down, it's their stories, their warmth, them slipping soft, and you've got the chance to cradle it all. What grabbed you today? Clara's shrinking frame, Tom's porch doze, Ellie's quiet huff? Tell me below, I'm here. Try it, sit still with someone, share a minute, let me know how it lands. Love this? Drop a 1 and pass it on. Light someone's way. Not your speed? A 0 keeps me sharp. Hit subscribe, tap the bell. Let's age with heart, not hurry. Next time, catch the signs, hold them close, make every whisper count.